Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice, at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
And by airs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at airs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
This is Ed Cohen in San Diego, and today is June 15th, 2021. It's a summer day here in San Diego, and I hope all is good and everyone's healthy out there. So Global TV Talk Show began in April of 2020, and since then, Google Analytics has measured everything, and if you can believe that stuff, they say 105,000 audience page views on our site since early April of 2020 through last week. So thank you all for hanging out. Our special guest today is very special. Lindsay, say hello and introduce yourself. And this is Lindsay Michelle, and her site is lindsaymichelle.org. So welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ed. It's very nice to be here. Happy to hear how San Diego weather is doing. It's pretty cool here in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm near the lake as well and the capital. So yes, I'm Lindsay and I live in Madison, Wisconsin, originally from Austin, Texas. So we were just discussing the heat in comparison to the lake effect of that.
So tell me about yourself. I know you're not a faith healer. You are a people healer. Yeah. So how do you do that legitimately as a profession? You have coach training?
Yes.
Yeah.
More on that. Yeah. So there's a lot to that question, actually. So when it comes to the healer's realm, I think it's really something that we were gifted with at birth, and we spend much of our lives discovering how to. We've always known that we can do these things, and it's how to utilize those gifts in a way that other people can understand and that actually can be a tangible way to help them change their lives. Yes, from a training perspective, I'm a Reiki master as of this weekend, so I'm very proud to say that now I can teach classes in Reiki energy healing. Thank you. I am a licensed yoga instructor, raw food nutrition consultant, and a trauma-informed healer. Previous financial advisor and still insurance agent. And so I have many letters after the name and certification world. And much of my life I've spent dancing. I get a lot of visuals and I also enjoy writing. So lots of ways to express what I see. My actual gift is really like seeing physically what's going on inside people's bodies. And sometimes that relates to metaphors for their lives. And that's generally how the healing journey begins in a very tangible way.
So, what kind of dancing?
Ooh, now, based on the flair of the outfit, I do a lot of Latin dancing. I've done some tango. I did ballroom dancing in college, which led to the whole Latin dance scene. I'm the creator of Latin dance yoga, actually. So I infuse and teach the dances in a class.
Cool. That's really nice. So this is dancing is part of being healthy, right? Moving your body around and
yes,
not only just getting steps, but rhythm.
Yeah, I have a lot to say on both of those. Would you like me to expand, or do you have another question?
Expand.
So I am currently doing ecstatic dance, which really is moving your body based on how the music is calling you. And there's a lot of therapeutic benefits to that type of dancing. It's really a form of expression. It's a way to reduce stress and actually heal emotions that are coming up in your body. Sometimes music is really a form of expressing whatever's kind of been pent up all day. Some people have those types of expressions come out in really vivid dreams. And dancing really calls us to be in the exact moment. We don't really have an option to be thinking about the future or the past. It calls us to drop everything, set our cell phone down, and really be present with our bodies. And getting into your body is a really great way to get out of your head.
So, have you done ballet?
Yep, I didn't get back to when I was 2, so I started taking ballet tap when I was 2. I had Chick certifications and did point for a period of time. So I did that till I was 18 and was the captain of my high school dance line, where I did a lot more jazz at that time. But I've been starting to take ballet now since COVID has come online through this group called Dance Accepts Everyone. And the beautiful thing about ballet is that there's a lot of discipline. And there's a lot of freedom in ecstatic dance and a lot of flair in Latin dance. And so it can really, express a lot of different parts of your being. And I think the ballet actually can really parallel to boundaries. And so if you think about like within a boundary, we can have freedom, and sometimes without a boundary, we are boundless, and which is great. And we still need those boundaries in our life. And so it's good to have all sides of that, I think.
So, do you have men as clients, or is it mostly women?
Good question. I am working with men. I have women in yoga classes, for example. However, I have a book idea called Feelings, Flesh, and Freedom: The Secret Lives of Men. I only have brothers. Actually, today is one of their birthdays, and tomorrow is the others. And I primarily in the finance world worked with
I have to tell you that tomorrow is my birthday also.
Oh, yep, that's my brother's birthday as well. Congratulations.
Gemini, cool. Yeah.
Gemini, yeah, Gemini. That's a great time.
Okay, so anyway, so you're into balance, putting balance in people's lives, or finding it.
Yes. How did you? If we're speaking of astrology, I'm a Libra, so balance exactly.
How about that? That's great. Well, I'm just reading all this stuff here. And so
I think, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, I saw that you charge for this and you charge for that, and it's all very upfront, and I applaud that. That is cool to do.
Okay.
I mean, rather than a guessing game, make people ask you.
Yeah, there's part of it's on there. I think when it comes to the coaching piece, that's an all-encompassing group program that I don't have prices posted on. Mm-hmm. It's not on my website.
Yeah, that's okay. Good. Okay, so you write here, how do we get past creative blocks and move forward? I found that to be really interesting because, the demons in the head, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning or something like the imposter syndrome thing, magnified, about, do I really want to ask that CEO for business, or should I stick to the mid-manager, or something like that, where do you come into that dilemma?
Good question. I actually started a creative circle to discuss this exact topic. So I think of creativity as an ebb and flow. And I think as a creative, you're producing a lot. So I think of it like this, and I'll say where I come in a moment. You have this flood of, maybe the 3 a.m. for you is a dilemma, or maybe the 3 a.m. is, I got an idea, I have to write it down right now, or this is going to be gone. I mean, on my arm, or this, napkin or whatever. For me, it's during
right.
And sometimes it is gone. So it's really catching the moment. And I think we really, I don't usually use these words, but I'm going to because it's what's coming. It's like we really beat ourselves up at the time that the creativity is not flowing. And just like every cycle in life, we're not meant to produce. There is this time of reflection. And I really feel like during that dried up time where we're not producing and we're kind of not happy with ourselves for not continually producing, it is our time to be a consumer of other people's creativity, to gain inspiration. That might mean watching TV. It might mean going on a walk. It might mean watching someone's show. And I think we when people find where they create the most, it generally comes with being somewhere outdoors. There's a specific scenario. Maybe it's literally in a coffee shop watching people and committing to that, whatever that may be. For me, a lot of times it was yoga. And after yoga, I'd, be in alignment and have all these ideas or writing ideas. Really committing to that as a non-negotiable in our schedule in order to produce. What you're speaking to about going from CEO to manager, or, drop, I wouldn't say, however you want to phrase that, that really is fear and self-worth. And that comes to like really loving ourselves and believing in ourselves. And you discussed imposter syndrome, excuse me. We're in Mercury retrograde right now. It's a tongue twister. What I mean by that is really believing that we're worthy. Are we confident enough to talk to this person? Oh, I'm scared. I'm not going to do that. And what you find in your life when I'm going to give Abraham Hicks a little boost right now. Law of attraction. There's this house that I really want down the street that looks at the lake. And today I was riding my bike and thinking like, my life is so great. I'm like doing Arabesque on my bike. And all of a sudden, owner of the house standing outside. And I've been praying for that for like 6 months now. Hey, Ed, how you doing? His name's Ed too. See, coincidence today. I'd love to own your house someday. And I've been dreaming of that conversation for many months now. And it's just interesting how when we get ourselves in that high vibe state, how things just happen because we're open. So you even went like this. What happens? You're closing yourself off, literally. If you talk about, yoga or chakras, like I am closed, my eyes are down. And so in a visual the other day, I was working with a client, it's like, lift your eyes above the horizon. So, if you're doing the inner work or the physical work, sometimes you can actually see what was right next to you the entire time and be confident enough to ask for it.
Boy, that's really interesting. So it's a big house?
It's pretty. It looks like Texas with the limestone.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a timely announcement.
Hi, I'm Sergei Gorbatov.
I'm Angela Lane.
Together we're researchers, writers and practitioners in the field of human resources.
And we've also been multi-country, multi-assignment career expats.
We owe our professional development and growth to a very large extent to the international assignment opportunities that we have had.
But in a world where distributed work may become the norm, we also want to understand what happened to the nature, duration, and purpose of international assignments.
Together with our colleague, Julian Dalzell from the University of South Carolina, we're undertaking a study on the future of expatriation.
And we'd value your contribution. You can participate in this important study by completing a simple 10-minute questionnaire.
Access the questionnaire by typing in your browser tinyurl.com/expert study. That's tinyurl.com/expert study. You can also find the link here on Ed's website next to this video.
Thank you for joining us in this study. In return for your contribution, we'll provide you with a copy of our research.
And of course, you'll be invited to an exclusive webinar hosted by Ed, where we will share our findings right here on Global Business News.
And so please go to tinyurl.com/expat study. Take the survey so that we can better understand the future of expatriation.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
Getting to another level, that's part of that, right?
Yeah.
It's part of having a plan or prayer.
May I expand on that?
Yeah.
You can plan all you want. No big deal. Go ahead. But people tend to hit roadblocks in their life and they don't know why, or they see these cycles that continue to perpetuate in work, in relationship, in their health, in their personal life, or inside their family. And the work that I do, actually, like with a past life regression, for example, or inner child healing, or especially the energy work, that's where we can actually break these cycles on an internal level. Without, a lot of times people will come to someone like me after they've tried everything else. They've really tried everything else. And they're like, okay, let's go try this thing. Or they've heard of it and they have this inkling like, oh, that sounds interesting. And when they really find the root cause of what's going on or where the trauma is, then you can heal that, and that changes everything.
So I see behind you, you have a flag of Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, that's where I went for my yoga teacher training.
Oh, yeah. Were you on the coast or up in the mountains?
On the coast in Nosara, Guanacaste, but I don't know how to pronounce it exactly.
Is that the Pacific or the Gulf?
Don't ask me.
Okay. No, I've never been there, but I've seen pictures and I've heard about it. It's a pretty diverse area.
Yeah, it's great. It was a great experience.
So once again, because we have a varied audience, most of our audience to date anyway, is business oriented, rather than consumer. Of course, everyone's a consumer, but people are involved in talent management aspects. Everything from recruitment to comp and ben to tax and legal and communications and the relocation of people and all the stuff that goes with all of that. So people coming out of COVID, getting ready, like here in California is supposed to open up. Of course, it's already open, but it's supposed to open more tomorrow. Or is it today? I don't know. But how can people come into a new alignment now that they're maybe going back to the office, or maybe they decided they don't want to go back in the office. They don't want to go in the elevator.
Yes. COVID has really given us all the opportunity to make a choice, or to have the ability to choose. We didn't really, I wouldn't say have that before. Now it's, what's your comfort level? How safe do you feel? Do you feel comfortable exposing yourself to this situation? Would you like to wear a mask? Are you vaccinated? There's a lot of questions there. And I really think it called all of us to discover who our core group was and who is important to us in the beginnings of COVID, for example. And then we've slowly been coming out of this. And I think of it as like coming out after, out in the rubble, out after the war, like, did you survive? Who's alive out there? And I think after this year of reprioritizing and maybe even reconnecting with our families or our own actual home, or feeling isolated, that could be many things for many people, people have had the chance to rediscover what is important to them. their health, for example, or maybe they really do want to work at home, and maybe it sounds like a lot of people are saying, hey, I don't want to go back to the office. I really like being home. And some of the studies have discovered that, there are still benefits of camaraderie within the office and that spontaneous conversation and teamwork only by going in 2 to 3 days a week and working from home and being productive the others. So I think for people, it really is a call to action to find out what their priorities are in their work life. And I think a lot of people are saying, hey, this is really important to me, and I'm going to say something about it. If there isn't a choice, for example, and people are going back and they feel like they're having a lot of feelings around, this whole thing, because, we've had a collective trauma going on for all of us. Some industries aren't coming back. Some things didn't make it. So it's really a redefinition of self. And from the healer's perspective, it's a change of priority in how you're choosing to live your life. Some things have fallen away, or you've shifted the speed at which you were going. Maybe your acceleration rate was 80 in your life and it had to go down to 0 for a while, and that might have hit really hard. I relate that to people not feeling comfortable in Shavasana in the last part of relaxation in yoga, or saying, I tried to meditate, but I can't. That's a really common thing. And so I think we've had the opportunity to get a little quieter and really face those demons or those hard things inside of us in the last year. And so I think it might be kind of eye-opening when people do go back, for example, because really we're not going back, we're going forward, in my perspective.
Yeah. So what about people quitting? There's a lot of talk about people quitting their jobs, actively looking rather than not actively looking for the next job.
Yeah, I see that as empowerment. I feel like people do have choice, or they feel, I was just talking with a colleague part of this about this, like starting to live, like when are you going to start your life? Like you can spend 60 or 80 years not really truly living or being here, and then realizing like, hey, I have choice, like I have resources, I can ask for what I want in a job. And I think that a lot of people are starting a business or realizing that, I really think it comes down to priorities. Like, do they want to be spending more time with their family? Do they want to have this remote position, which is, I think companies have gotten very innovative, actually. They've discovered that some things need to be done face-to-face, which is fantastic. And we've actually become more globally connected because of COVID, which is, you're doing it. It's beautiful.
This has been a terrific opening for me, and a life-changing event. Not enough cash flow, but we're working on it, Yeah, trying to change that. Okay, so as we come to a close here, we're talking about alignment or realignment, right? And rediscovery, and then applying the energy somehow. And you don't need permission, do you? You need to do it, and if you make a mistake, you change it and do something else.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I like that. That's giving yourself grace.
Yeah. Okay. So, but people need permission from themselves.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how you said that.
So how do you counsel people who, thought that was a mystery?
That's a good question. That one's taken a long time, even in my own healing journey. For some reason, boundaries and self-care is coming up. So I think in my journey, one of my jobs many years ago from a coach was just learn how to say no. And that was so hard for me that I couldn't. She's like, your job this week is to say no. I was like, no, I'm not going to write that. I can't put my pen to the paper, because I was a yes for everyone, and at the sacrifice of my own health. And so you're laughing. I think a lot of people do feel that way. And so I think that really comes to boundaries and honoring yourself and beginning to learn where something is, even knowing what a no is for you is really important. If it's not, in our coaching, we say, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. Sorry to swear on your show here. But really knowing that in yourself, like if you're hesitating, you really need to take care of that. And I think for me, it was even learning like, oh, I'm a human being that has a body that is a machine that needs to be fed every day. If I schedule myself from sun up to sundown and don't include meals, that means I didn't eat. How am I going to function? And then feeling guilty that I even say I get to have a lunch. Isn't that, I think a lot of us are having struggles with that even now on Zoom, booking straight through and forgetting ourselves. Excuse me?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's really interesting speaking with you, and I'd like you to come back again and give us an update or give us a new thinking about something that you found new.
Okay, I love that. Maybe you could be on my show then too.
So let me know what you got. Send me a message.
I'd be happy to.
Great. Thanks very much, Lindsay Michelle. Nice to meet you. All right, this is Ed in San Diego, and that's Lindsay Michelle in Madison, Wisconsin. Cool. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.